Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for episode 112 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Tim Jennette, the Metal Meeple, and I'm joined by my co-host,
George Breden.
And in this episode, we have a special guest. Say hi, Stephen.
Hi.
This is Stephen Gibson, art director of Arcane Wonders, and much more.
But not much more.
Alexa, ask a random question.
Here's a question for you. If you had to replace your hands with something other than hands, what would you choose and why?
Lobster claws.
God.
Welcome to the podcast, Stephen.
That's a horrifying question.
Yeah. Probably claws. Did you guys see that article about how evolution always chooses crabs over everything else? Like everything eventually evolves into a crab.
Really?
No, I've never heard this.
No, it's like a lot of independent species have, well, a lot of species have independently evolved into crabs because it's just like an evolutionary, like, something.
Wait a minute.
Because all species want to end up tasting good. If they are ever eaten. Hey, man, if you're going to fight me to the death, might as well get a reward out of it.
But crabs don't actually taste good. That you just taste butter.
I mean, that's true, too.
But wait.
Actually,
I don't know.
I'm the wrong person for this because I don't like seafood.
I can't accept this premise, though. Were there, like, crab dinosaurs? Were the dinosaurs turning into crabs?
I feel like this is a Facebook article.
It was on I Effing Love Science, one of their articles. It's a narrative thing. It was cool.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny, yeah. That's interesting.
All right, we got to answer the question, though. If you can replace your hands with any other objects.
Crabs.
I mean, Edward had a good solution, but it didn't work out too well. I'm, of course, talking about the scissors. Man, I don't know. I guess I would replace it with like some sort of mechanical weaponry.
You'd get violent? If you had to replace your hands, you'd get violent?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be kind of upset with that. Everything I do is with my hands.
I have the magic answer for you, actually. I'd replace them with wings.
Okay, that's
tiny wings.
And fly away.
Yeah. George, what would you replace them with?
I mean, that's rough because that's my livelihood, speaking with my hands, the sign language interpreter. So, I'd have to go with tentacles, like a whole bunch of them though, not just like one on each hand.
A bunch of tentacles?
I'd be super dexterous with my tentacle fingers.
You know what that reminds me of? Have you ever seen the original Ghost in the Shell anime?
Oh yeah.
The movie where the android girl puts her fingers out and they all turn into little tentacles and she starts typing on the keyboard like 1,000 miles per hour.
That would be me.
There you go. There you go. He'd be a Ghost in the Shell.
So you're a sign language interpreter?
I am, yeah.
My wife would love you. She loves sign language.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Random. Just out there left field. Just wanted to let you know.
Well, I'd be happy to meet her.
Well, anyway, thanks for joining us on this episode. We have a special guest. We have Stephen Gibson from Arcane Wonders, the art director, and we play games together. Actually, no board games,
occasionally.
Yeah. We got to make this a more regular thing.
That's
true.
Mr.
Sleepyhead over here.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. We are working with my son to get him to sleep alone. Dude, let me tell you about this. Once he can sleep by himself again, I feel like not that I'll have my life back, quote unquote, but I will have my night back for sure. Because George knows this, man. We used to stay up till like 4 a.m. just playing games.
Yeah, those were
all
the days.
The time. I don't know if you joined us that much, but Eric and I would totally be on all night long playing Destiny 2 and Monster Hunter and Tabletop Simulator, all kinds of stuff. And I need to do this before Outriders comes out.
Did you try that book I sent you? I feel like you didn't because you thought it was weird.
Oh, what? Huh, what book? The how to get your kids to sleep or whatever?
Yeah, the hypnosis book, basically.
No, I haven't. I told my wife about it, but we haven't bought it or anything.
Well, I sent you a free link to it, but
you did.
Yeah, okay.
Here's the problem with that. It's hard to when I read to my child, Theron, we lay down and he's beside me and he looks. And if it's a screen, he's going to be completely distracted. So I need a paper version.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So could you get him to do other things too? I mean, if you're hypnotizing them, just get him to do whatever.
It's a monotonous, toned book. Like the way it's written. It's not necessarily like you're feeling sleepy.
Well, it is like that though.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah. It is like that,
it's
but
suggestive,
not like,
but not in a creepy way.
Right.
When I snap my fingers, you will eat your vegetables.
I think I have the intro memorized. I'm going to tell you a story that will make you feel very sleepy. That's the first line, I think. Anyway, and it does have stuff like when you wake up, you'll feel this, and like all of your, you'll find the solutions to your troubles, and like it's really positive. But anyway,
yeah, nice.
It worked great for me. I still use it. My kids are 6 and 8.
He's like, I just read it alone. I'm just
finds the solutions to his troubles.
Yeah.
We all need that.
Yeah, I definitely need to try that out. I slightly forgot about it just because I didn't have the physical version in front of me. That, and for some odd reason, we're reading Amelia Bedelia books now.
Do you know Geronimo Stilton? Well, they're kids' books. And because you don't know it, I'm not going to continue on with mentioning it.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem. Like, Amelia Bedelia is obviously marketed towards like girls, and I don't really care. Like, if he's interested in it, I'll read it. But these are some awful written books. They are just absolutely terrible. Like, I'm stumbling over words because they're written so bad. It's the newer ones. The old ones weren't like this, but the newer versions, it's just, I don't know. It's really badly written. I could do a better job, and I don't read or write books. It's like, I write technical manuals, man.
It sounds like you need to write some.
And it always says Amelia Bedelia. It's never like Amelia. Amelia Bedelia did this. Amelia Bedelia. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sick and tired of saying her entire name. I don't even say her last name anymore. It's Amelia.
Yeah.
So welcome to the podcast where we talk about board games and video games and Amelia Bedelia.
I'm laughing. I love those kind of books anyway, but I grew up on those kind of things. We all did, right? It's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, there's all kinds of cool books. Like, in the old Amelia Bedelia books are pretty cool too, but these new ones.
But at the same time, I hate that stuff because interpreting that in sign language, and it's all based on sound. Like, these words sound the same. Isn't that funny? No, actually, it's not.
It makes it hard.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get some of the intro stuff out of the way, Stephen, with you, and then we can talk some video games and board games and such. So, just, I guess, quickly tell us some cool story about how you got into board games, especially, I guess, into like the graphic arts and doing all kinds of stuff for companies or whatever. Just kind of like a short summary.
Yeah. Well, it was 100% nepotism. My boss is my father, Brian Pope, and I am his son, Stephen Pope. And that's it. No. I graduated. I went to school for not board games. I don't even know if you can, but I went for like 3D animation, art, and design. So I was trying to get into like mobile games and stuff like that. I did right out of college, but it turns out that company it had been around for 14 years. When I got there, it tanked. And I was just out of a job. I grew up making pen and paper RPGs because I'm a loser like the rest of you. And I never took it seriously. It's just something I like to do. So while I was at this company, and we had no work coming in, which was a great sign that I should have paid attention to. And I started developing like an app. It's called Elemental Duels. And then we all got fired. And
this sounds like I know what it turned into.
You do. You know the end of the story. But I couldn't find a job, so I just kept making this thing. Eventually, I found the website GameCrafter, which... Do you know GameCrafter? Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like upload your art and we'll sell it on our web store. I was like, what? That's amazing. And I didn't actually end up using it, but it kind of gave me the kick in the butt to be like, this could be a thing I could actually do. And so I just kept doing it. And eventually I did my own Kickstarter and people saw that I was capable of doing these things, and they kept hiring me for doing it for them. That's it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So in the board game space, what you came from Greenbrier to Arcane Wonders?
Yeah. Well, I was freelance for a while. I did a lot of stuff for Rule and Make for a time, and just random people. And then Greenbrier hired me, and they picked up my game Grimslingers.
Wait, which game did you do the art for on with Rule and Make?
Burger Up.
Oh, okay. We talked about that.
I think the game that tanked their company, don't quote me on this, but their Terminator 2 game, I did the cover art for them and like character art.
I am like really into game art. Art is one of the biggest, most important things for me in a game. And I'm looking at this Grimslingers art. It is fantastic.
Dude, I can't believe
you.
I don't know if George even looked at the art before we talked about this.
I have to get this game now. I didn't know this game.
Well, you had to play it with us.
Yeah. Oh man, this is fantastic art. Seriously, if you get a chance to see the podcast in visual form, or just go look at Grimslingers. Holy cow!
He's got the sequel going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, most of that game's success was because of the art.
Yeah, I can see that.
Most people were like, I don't know anything about it, but I thought the cover looked cool, so I bought it.
Honestly, for me, I was like, I saw the little quote unquote ghosts floating around on people's shoulders. I was like, Destiny! I'm totally buying this. I don't even care what it's about.
Yeah.
Was that an inspiration for you in the game, or what was your inspiration for this art?
It wasn't Destiny. Actually, it was my ineptitude as an artist. You notice that those, they're called animas, are all like a box and a circle and a tube, because those were easy to draw and instead of an actual robot. So that's why it is that way. But I mean, I love Destiny. So, I think I made Grimslingers before I started actually playing Destiny though. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
This has a real Western feel to it.
Well, that's good because it's a Western.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about the wild success of the chicken.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean when you say wild success?
Grimslingers has been out for years, and then all of a sudden the chicken shows up on some meme or something it just blows up, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I guess Phil George in too, because he has no clue what I'm talking about.
That's true. And probably the listeners don't either.
That's true.
For the second Kickstarter for Grimslingers, the Northern Territory, there was a bonus character that honestly, it took me probably like 4 hours to do. It's a chicken. I just thought it was funny.
Was it a promo card? Did it come with the game?
Well, it was like a character pack kind of thing. There was a red panda who looked kind of like Solid Snake, and this chicken who was like a wizard. She has like wands on her back and like a little wizard Gandalf hat.
Awesome.
And I don't know what people connect with that picture, but it just
right. It could be wizards or chickens. Both.
Yeah, I don't know. Years later, somebody posted on Instagram. There's always these like art blogs or whatever, art pages on Instagram that just repost art. And the one that's commonly, it always gets posted with this question of like, what would you name this chicken? And people just go nuts for it. Like there's been several posts that have like, some are like 25,000 likes and like hundreds of comments.
Oh my gosh.
Which is the most like, that I've ever gotten.
Do you have like a personal name for the chicken yourself?
Yeah, her name's Henrietta.
Oh, okay then.
I mean,
but they post it without like, they clip the art though. They don't post the character tag at the bottom or anything like that.
Right. And then they ask, what would you name the chicken?
And then they basically don't give you credit, I'm assuming.
They also rarely give me credit, but I don't care. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, but
that is cool.
Yeah. My claim to fame is a chicken.
A lot of those Instagram accounts just kind of repost things from other of the same types.
Yeah.
Like if it's an art forum, they repost from all these other artists on there. Like not even artists, other like art accounts. Or it's like, you'll see something that's like people are doing epoxy with wood, and it's just like they just steal each other's stuff. And it's, I don't know if it's like the same guy has 26 accounts and he's like, just see which one gets popular and let the other ones bleed out. But,
side note though, I have a Redbubble. I I don't like do any marketing or anything really for my stuff, but since the Instagram posts, I have been selling a lot more art. Just, I don't know even how they find it, I guess, but it just, yeah. So it's been helpful.
When you say sell, like, do you already have pieces that you have, or do you mean like commission work and stuff like that?
Well, it's like a Redbubble store, so you just like post your art on there, and people can buy it as like a print or Sorry, my cam got missed.
Is Henrietta on there?
Yeah.
And
one time, someone bought like 35 postcards of Henrietta.
I remember seeing you post that. That's awesome.
So, I mean, I love the idea that someone's sending their friends, the older friends, these like weird chicken pictures.
Yeah.
You're invited to our wedding.
Yeah.
Or it might not even be their friends. There's this thing called post crossing where you send out postcards to people all over the world and get them back from them, but you don't know who these people are. So you just send random postcards to people. It's like this crazy hobby.
That sounds kind of fun.
It's cool.
It does sound kind of fun. Do you make pen pals out of it, or do you?
Yeah, if you want, it's up to you. Like, you just keep sending stuff and getting stuff back if you want, or just one time. Awesome. Here's a chicken, whatever.
Yeah. Sweet.
Now, has this success with Henrietta led you to do other fantasy themed farm animals?
Well, I actually haven't done any more, no. But I only do art as I need to for Grimslingers, so that's why. But there are others, like you have in the background. There's the Siamese cat.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
There's a puppy dog and some other stuff. So I like doing animals too, just because it's fun. But it also is a way around like representation in games, which I think is important. But as the person who's doing all the art, it is challenging to be able to represent everyone equally. Whereas, like, you know what? Everyone can love a chicken.
That's
like
true.
A chicken with some swords, or he didn't have swords. He had like a bag or something with some wands? Like he was like homeless wands? Or something. Oh, was it wands?
Yeah, he's got wands. She's got wands. Yeah.
It makes sense. Wizards.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So when you do art for other board games, do you mostly do like the graphic design and then like kind of incorporate it into like the actual art, the characters that are drawn from other artists and stuff, or is it just depends?
It depends. Rarely do I get to do art anymore that's not graphic design. At Greenbrier, I did a lot for like Z-Poc and Folklore, The Affliction, and other random stuff, but you know, obviously my style is a very particular kind. Not that I can't do cartoon, like I did Burger Up and stuff like that. But it just takes longer. So normally I do, like I hire artists and then I just base the graphic design around what they're giving me.
Yeah, now that you say it, the Grimslingers art, I can see the resemblance to the Folklore art, which I also really liked.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't do the Folklore illustrations. That was Jason Angles. But,
okay. Then I'm way off.
I did.
You did all like the card frames and the player boards and stuff like that.
And I did all the items, and there was 150. So I did do a lot of illustrations, just not the characters.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Man, I love that game. That's a good game.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
Oh, yeah.
It does have good art, too. Yeah.
It also has, I think it might have broken 30K or 40K on the Dice Tower. That's like my highest viewed review on there.
It's surprisingly popular.
Yeah.
Oh, the game?
Yeah. I mean, it did well.
There's definitely a cult following at this point, too, just because looking at forums and such, and people are just designing their own, scenarios and all that. And obviously there's the book that they released with the design your own, campaign or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I have everything. I don't have the whatever it is, the newest expansion, but
yeah, I don't follow it anymore, but
yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk some Arcane Wonders stuff, and then we're gonna talk a lot of video games and other things. Yeah, because that's the meat right there. Talking about video games, but like Arcane Wonders, number one, whoever is in charge. Well, I mean, other than Brian, I guess, but whoever's ever in charge of getting Four Gardens published is amazing because I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it other than it looks cool, and I keep having to make ads for it, which is annoying. But it looks beautiful. I love that we have this kind of Asian run in Arcane Wonders with like Senshi and Onitama and Four Gardens, and I feel like there's a couple other ones that I'm forgetting. But yeah, I love that pagoda. It looks cool. Like I like when we do stuff that's more like a toy than. Or when we toyify stuff, I love
it's kind of like a gimmick, a toy gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're just at a point now in the market where we need to stand out. Like another, top-down overworld map where you move dudes around. Like, come on. Like, we've seen that. We're done.
Yeah.
Is this the one... Sorry, but is this the one where you turn the tower and which way it faces you is the resources you get?
Correct.
That is a cool concept, yeah.
Now... just to let everyone know that I'm not just a fanboy of Arcane Wonders and just saying, oh, this new game we got coming out, it's amazing. I had this on my top anticipated games, like Essen release, 2 years ago or something at this point? Or maybe it was last year.
Last year, I think.
No, I don't think it was 2 years ago.
Was it?
It was a while back. I mean, it feels like that, but who knows? COVID kind of made everything stretch out.
It's true.
The point is, Arcane Wonders had nothing to do with it at the time. So I've been excited by this. I was like, man, I don't think this is coming stateside, without having to import it or something.
Yeah.
That is the reason I'm excited mostly, is because it's like, yay, I'm gonna.
Well, I think it was probably Tom Vassell. It's a Dice Tower Essentials, so he keeps bringing us games. It's cool. I think we're getting pretty aggressive about picking up third-party games and just publishing them. Call them no-touch games because we don't have to do any art. We just basically slap our logo and convert the. I mean, I don't even think we do the translations. I think they just hand it to us and we publish it.
That's fair. It's almost like you just pay for publishing rights in a specific region.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty common.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you are looking up on Board Game Geek because you played a game, digitally or something on Tabletop Simulator, and you're like, whose version is this? It says it's published by 47 people. It's like, so it depends on where you're playing it or what version you have and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've liked all the essentials that we've played, I think. We've played Viral and Sheriff of Nottingham and Onitama.
Yeah, the only essential I think I have not played is the mech one, whatever it's called.
That one is a sad tale.
Oh, really?
It was the first game I worked on other than Senshi. Like when I first got hired at Arcane Wonders, it was like, oh my gosh, you have this Senshi and Critical Mass done next week. And it's like, no. But anyway, I tried. I put in, if you look at the graphic design for it, I put in so much effort to the graphic design. Like you got this cool like mech and wires in the graphic design. And it's like really like built out and cool. And your player board is like this mech cockpit.
Oh, that's cool.
And the game just, we didn't really market it. And there's some production problems. Like it came out really dark.
Oh.
And it's just sad. It's a cool game, though.
I don't think I've heard of it. What is it called?
Critical Mass. It's a 2-player head-to-head mechs fighting each other. I'll be honest with you, I was really excited by it when I first saw it because I'm a huge fan of Armored Core for the PlayStation back in the day. I played majority of them. And I mean, basically it was like Armored Core, the card game, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it actually translates that well to Armored Core or not, but I was excited. But this got published, was it Gen Con before COVID or was it during COVID? I can't remember.
Critical Mass?
Yeah.
Nah, it's gotta be 2 years ago.
Some of those games though, especially 2-player games, I think don't have a bust out and just grab everyone unless there has to be like a combination of a perfect storm. You know what I mean? Like, there can't be that much stuff coming out that year that's also 2 players and good. Because I feel like 2-player games get seriously shadowed by other 2-player games quite a bit.
It's like probably 2-player games is probably the most competitive part of the market. And you really gotta knock it out of the park. Like Air, Land, and Sea, which I'm grateful that we published it because it's phenomenal, is like, for me, the pinnacle of like a 2-player game. It's, tiny. It's very easy to learn and unique. And
I haven't and have not played it. Boo.
Well, you should.
I do. It's really hard for me to play 2-player games though, just because usually we get everybody together for game night and you have like 4 to 6 people.
Yeah.
It's like, hey guys, want to get together and play my one copy of this 2-player game?
Exactly. No.
and like we shy away from 2-player games at this point. I'm pretty sure the magic number is 2 to 6 players. No.
But it's a running joke that every episode I say 3 players is the best count.
Okay.
Just because it's like, I always feel like it's the most competitive without being a head versus head or head to head.
Man, 3-player games are tough.
They're so good.
And sometimes you have these games, they put so much into the game that at 4 players, it's just a little too long. And then 3 players, that's the number, you know.
I feel you.
For 2-player though, I would say Onitama is tremendous.
Onitama's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Really good.
Yeah.
What about some Mage Wars? Anything you can tell us on that front? Coming from the Mage Wars fanboy. I mean, just going to reiterate this. I told you this story, I think the last time we played games, but I have followed Mage Wars since it was before it was Arcane Wonders, I'm pretty sure, at Gen Con, because he had like a Mage Wars booth 2 years in a row. And then like 1 year it came out, it's like Arcane Wonders. I was like, well, did somebody buy it? But I think he just formed a company under a different name than Mage Wars. So I have like my original Mage Wars shirt and, you know, it was such fun times. I think I was like within the first 10 people in line to buy it. It was so good.
Yeah. It was interesting when I first started at the company, they sent me like all of the products and, you know, I got like 2 full boxes of Mage Wars stuff. Never played it. I'm not a Mage Wars dude, but there were some things as we were looking into it and in looking into developing Mage Wars 2. There's some really cool things that like Mage Wars was really trying to be, you know, Magic the Gathering thing where they had like, you know, special prizes and things they would hand out to like retail stores to like go and like set up a Mage Wars event there. And it's really cool stuff. While I was never there for the heyday of Mage Wars, it sounds like it was a pretty sweet thing. And the fan base is really dedicated and very upset that Mage Wars is not producing more content. Anyway, what can I tell you about Mage Wars is that Mage Wars 2 is in development and that it has been for some time. We have a dedicated person that we just hired to manage the community and kind of be in charge of integrating all the feedback of Mage Wars 1 into Mage Wars 2. And I'm pretty sure the goal of Mage Wars 2 is just to be the perfect Mage Wars, like take everything that was missing or issues that the fan base had and then fix all that. And then kind of, you know, I could be wrong here. Don't quote me on it. But I kind of revitalized Mage Wars 1. I think part of the tricky part was that they... You know, and I think it was probably a mistake in my opinion. I could be wrong. Is that they kind of split the fan base they had like Mage Wars Arena and then they had Mage Wars Academy, and they're different games, and it kind of split the company's ability to provide content for both. And I think maybe Brian's focus shifted to the newer version because it was kind of meant to be like a quicker, easier Mage Wars. But then people still wanted the original, and it just got lost in the mix of other stuff and lost support, which is kind of sad. But I mean, Mage Wars 2 is coming.
And it's for
That's fair.
2 to 6 players, right?
No way.
Yeah.
Let's say 2 or 4. 2 to 4.
Yeah, probably 2 to 4.
Yeah, I did see that for a while there. You guys were posting some cards. Were you thinking about doing like a final set or something like that? Or were these cards that might make it into 2?
I'm not too much in the loop on Mage Wars 2 anymore because like for its original inception, I was working with Walter to be like, how could we make this amazing and like the next big thing for us? And
Walter's a cool guy.
Walter's
I like
very
Walter.
cool. Yeah. Anyway, a part of it was, I think there's some sort of kit being made to cards or something to send to people, or like a final pack or something. I can't remember, but there's something happening there. I'm pretty sure.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like a little goodbye for like Mage Wars fans to be like, that product is ending. Here's our final thing for you. We love you guys. Here's our new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's always funny because when we do posts on the AW on Facebook, everyone's like, so when's Mage Wars coming? And there's always like one person who comments that.
That's awesome.
It's Tim. It's Tim.
It probably, yeah, I just made a bunch of Facebook accounts with different names. I'm like, where's the Mage Wars stuff?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about with Arcane Wonders side of things, or you want to talk about some video game stuff?
I mean, Arcane Wonders is cool. I don't know.
You know what? There is one question that's not really specifically to Arcane Wonders, but how do you like working in the board game industry as opposed to what you are doing?
Well, as opposed to what I was doing, you said?
Well, I guess your other job was that quick mobile thing.
Oh, well, I love the board game industry because everyone gets to have more influence. Whereas like in a video game, you're just a cog in the machine. You have very little influence on anything of significance generally. Obviously, the bigger the company, the less influence you have. Whereas board game industry, every member has a much bigger impact. Every member, play tests it and gets to kind of have an opinion on it. And that's what I really love, is that it's a lot more intimate for everyone involved and a lot more hands-on. So like, while I may be the art director, I definitely have an input on, how a game turns out and how it's played, and we're going to play test it and fix it. And
yeah.
So and there's something that board games have that video games and others don't. And it's definitely that physical social aspect, maybe not so much during the quarantine era, but like it's even couch co-op on a video game is it's just not quite the same thing. That's why I feel like board games are forever. There's just, you can't get that same kind of thing anywhere else. So I think that's cool. I'm not a huge board gamer myself, to be perfectly honest, but I have come to love it as I've engaged with it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. I think that board games does have something that video games can't really touch. And you're right. Even when sitting on the couch, you all can get bored, or not bored, but you get it in the moment and then no one really talks for 30 minutes as you're killing stuff or whatever. But you can't really do it in that board games because you have to narrate your turn or say what you're doing, or there's always questions because everyone has to play the quote unquote narrator. Obviously some games there's dedicated people, but just in normal like strategy games, somebody has to be kind of like, all right, your turn. Okay. This phase is happening. You know what I mean? Like there's that constant communication, even if it's not like you just talking about, what you did last night.
I also love that board games, because of what they are, is like you can house rule something, like how some PC...
George immediately got excited.
I just lit up.
Like PC games, sometimes there's like modders and stuff like that. But like I feel for board games, anyone can be like, you know what? I'm just going to adjust this rule because it's more fun.
Absolutely. That's my biggest thing. And
I'm like, rules as written.
No.
Flips the table.
Yeah. Sometimes with Grimslingers, the original one had not the greatest rule book. So people will be like, should I play it this way or that way? It's like, sometimes there's like, well, what sounds more fun to you? I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I give them the actual answer, but like, if you find it annoying that this rule is there, like it doesn't hurt the game if you just do it differently.
Do what you want.
Exactly.
At least not for Grimslingers. Maybe for other games, if you cheat, it could be a problem.
Yeah, Splendor. Yeah, I like the fact that I can't take 10 pieces on my turn. It just grabs the whole board.
As long as it's the same for everybody, then it's cool.
Right. House rules, it's cool. It's cool. Board games are cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't mind certain house rules. I think I've just gotten in the mindset since I've reviewed games so long that I have to play it as written so I can destroy it or, give it props or whatever. So house rules are usually like, have I played this game enough to review it? All right, let's do some stuff. Let's flip out. We're going to play 6 characters this time instead of 1.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. But
yep. Absolutely agree with you. That's one of the greatest things about board games. And that's one of the really nice things about having Tabletop Simulator for the COVID times, because you can change what you want. You can spawn in all kinds of obnoxious 3D objects or useful 3D objects, or
useful ones. Yeah.
Like if you don't want to count your points in a certain way, you want to bring in a counter, you can do that. Or, there's just the same way that you could change your components in a regular board game, you can change it in Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
That's true.
Really like that. That's my soapbox.
That's fair. All right, let's talk some video games and stuff, man. Let's talk some Phasmaphobia that we've been playing recently that George has surpassed everyone, apparently.
I've been playing it quite a bit.
He's played it so much, he's moved on to another game, apparently, from what I saw.
I have moved on to a few other games that are very similar to it, actually. and it's this whole genre that I didn't realize was out there, and now I'm hooked on it. But who's really hooked on it is my girlfriend, Kat, who is just like completely into Phasmaphobia. So I have to keep up. She's like 20 levels ahead of me by now, but I'm trying.
Is she only playing Phasmaphobia, or has she moved on to the other games too?
No, she's playing the other games too.
Oh, okay.
But what are the other games?
Okay, so the other games, there's a game called...
Well, first, for the viewers.
Yes.
Let's tell George, you can do it. Tell us what Phasmaphobia is, and then we can transition if you want.
Yeah, well, Phasmaphobia is an indie computer game where you go as the team that goes ahead of the ghost hunters. You're not actually hunting the ghost. You're just going to determine, is there a ghost there? And if so, what kind it is. And so you're the team that goes to the location and then sets up experiments to find out what different kinds of evidences you can find for the ghost, and then report that back. So you're just trying to get a deduction figured out. What is this ghost? Because every ghost will have 3 features. And once you can identify those, you know what kind of ghost it is. And it's a very slow build. When you first arrive, the ghost is fairly inactive, but then it gets more active as you're there because you're disturbing its place. And it eventually comes after you, and then you have to try to survive. And that's just so much fun. It's got some great tension because it's such a slow build up, and then jump scares, and there's so much atmosphere the whole time that you're in this with your friends, trying to figure something out, which is fun by itself, but then you're also doing it while you're honestly terrified, which is
that's true. That's
hilarious.
True. Well, let's talk about this one, and then once we kind of get that out of our system, then we're going to hear some of your other things, because then everybody can piece together, why you like the newer ones or why you don't or whatever. So it is worth mentioning, and we have, I think, mentioned it on the podcast before, that this game was designed and made by one guy.
That is
very similar to Grimslingers right there. Bam. Pushing those plugs
He's
for you.
way more successful though.
So
yeah, well, video games has a deeper pool of audience to grab.
Yeah, true.
I mean, this is just until the Grimslingers video game comes out.
True.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. He was, I'm very impressed with this person in that he used, like assets from the Unreal Store and stuff like that. Like he did it smart, and he was super creative with this thing. What a cool game, It's just like the great thing about it is, for most of us, it feels unlike anything we've played before, really.
Yes.
Yes. It's definitely its own, like, it's a unique thing, which we've said before, somebody's going to rip it off and and move forward. Or some of those other games, have already done it.
Well, I just hope one of these AAA titles, offers this guy a big fat job to make, a really in-depth version.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love for a big AAA studio just to rip him off and have like ray tracing and like just insanely creepy like monsters and like demons and stuff like that. Imagine opening a closet and there's like somebody inside.
Yeah, there's so many things they could do if they just had
there's so much potential.
People working on it. Yeah.
And that's the thing with me is you have to always put yourself in a position where I can't critique it too hard because it is one dude, and I don't think he ever thought it would be wildly successful like it is. But then as you're playing it, you're like, man, he could have done this and this. It would be really cool if this stuff happened. Yeah. And it does feel like a demo in some ways. It's only a $15 game, so let's just put that out there. But it does feel like if you play this thing 15 times and then in the last 5 or, in the last 10 times you've played it, you're kind of guessing it every time. You almost feel like you've beaten it, and it's like you're just replaying the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, it can get a little samey, but really, if your significant other is into, the paranormal and all that kind of thing, like this is the best $15, $30 I ever spent, because I got one for both of us. And
is this like the most you played with Kat on one specific game?
On any computer game, yeah. No question.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so
it's funny when we were playing with Kat, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
We were playing with Kat, right? That's who? we were playing with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is how she plays it. I found that really interesting. That she was basically just content with being there.
She's not a risk taker.
I'll be in the van.
You know, you'd think someone who was so into the game would be like, you know, in the house and like getting up in the ghost grill.
No, she's like genuinely scared though, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It is kind of neat playing it with more people, but I feel like it is scarier playing it with two. Playing it with one is obviously probably the scariest.
Absolutely.
But I don't feel like it's a good one-player game.
Well, there's just a lot you have to do. And when you're by yourself,
yeah,
it takes a while and you don't have time because the ghost is coming.
It doesn't make any sense they would send one dude to go to a place and like assess the situation. You know, a team of people make more sense, but it also dilutes the creepiness to it. Because I remember I was like, when I first started playing it with Steven, we would go in and then he would die. And he's like, all right, you got to do this. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It was cool when you were walking right beside me.
Yeah,
he's walking around without flashlights. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
You know, I always get so offended when I'm like doing something and someone has like left me without telling me. Like, what?
You're like, I don't carry flashlights, guys. You gotta.
No, it's true. I usually don't.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Hilarious. The game is impressive in that it can build that kind of feeling in you. It can actually scare you, this game, because the setup and the graphics, the layout, you really feel like you're going into these various locations. And then it's really the audio, the sounds that you have. There's like this background hum that's almost like a breathing. And then sometimes it really is a breathing sound because the ghost is like right there in your ear, you know, and the way that he's done that is really impressive to me.
That's true. I mean, the sound design is like, should be studied in college or something because it just really gets you. Yeah. And the great thing about it is, you know, like you were saying, the one-to-one with the real world of like the real world noises and, you know, like you could definitely creep yourself out playing it and being like, wow, I just heard that noise in the game and in real life.
Yes.
Like, I'm screwed.
It's like somebody in the other room shuts a door and you don't know if it came through the game or it was in your house.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I live alone. No, I'm just kidding.
It's so true though.
Yeah, it is a really cool game because it does provide this realistic experience, because it's not like other games, which I'm assuming some of them that George is going to go into here in a minute. You don't really see the ghost almost ever. Unless it starts to like do the hunt where the like lights flicker because you made it mad or whatever, and that's going to come after you. But even then, it flashes in and out of existence pretty quickly. And so you kind of like, you hear the footsteps and it flashes and goes away and you're like, oh, it's right there. And you run off and stuff. It's not like it just turns into crazy monster and destroys the car next to you and like punches through the wall. You know, it doesn't do any kind of like unrealistic movie style action.
You know, going off that point, like my favorite, like horror thrillers or whatever are the ones that like really tease the monster. Like they don't just straight up show you it.
Exactly.
You're just always kind of getting a glimpse of it. And
like Cloverfield.
Yeah. I mean, man, I love Cloverfield, but
you have to imagine it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. It lets you, you know, because the great thing about us being afraid just in real life is it's just our imagination. There are no monsters. Except for on Wall Street, but, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm with you.
Like on Lost, you know, the monster in the woods, like it was so much cooler before we saw it as a smoke monster. That was still cool, but you know, just like what is that thing?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are Lost fans, but I am. So,
you know, I love the first season and I watched most of the second season, and then like, I'm not a big TV watcher, so I have to like buy it on DVD and stuff. I was watching that one as it came out though. And it just got to a point where like, here's what I'll say. Have you ever been playing a D&D campaign when you were younger and the DM's like, this thing happens? I'm like, that would be cool if you just didn't randomly think of it and just immediately implement into the game. Like if you had thought about it and had that all planned out, it would have been much cooler. And that's my problem with Lost is I feel like they just what are they going to do next episode? They write it as they go. There's no sense. Like, I don't even think they have the ending made or anything. I hate that about TV shows, honestly.
I wholeheartely disagree with you as someone who's watched it 3 times all the way through. They definitely had the end from the beginning in a large part anyway. Because when you rewatch it, you just see like, oh, like here are all these crazy connections, and like it can feel like it comes out of left field.
Do you feel like they stretched it too many seasons though?
No.
Okay.
But I'm sure other people feel that way. I mean, I know they do. And I think some people got lost when Lost delved into a lot of a weirder territory. But to me, it all works together as a whole. So I think you're stupid.
Oh, shots fired. Here's I'll explain it a different way. Check this out. All right. So for me, if you're watching like The Walking Dead, right? They don't really have the entire season outlined before they go film it. Other than the fact that the comic books were out. But let's even take the comic books. It's all like they write it as they go. And I feel like that's kind of cheesy in a way because I don't like the influence factor of the fans are speculating online like, oh, I bet this is going to happen, or I bet this could happen. And then they just write that in because it's like, oh, that, you know what? That's a really cool idea. That's what's happening. And even though it comes out to be a good product, and if I go back and revisit a different program and don't read into anything online, maybe I'll have a lot of fun watching it. And that's something that happened with that show too. But I feel like if the person who wrote it had already planned all that out, it's almost like more of a mind blow at the end because it's like there's no influence. It's a really weird thing that I do with myself, and this is probably why I don't watch TV much.
I was going to say, what do you watch that is satisfying then? Because, you know...
No. Like, it always has to be something that's already done. Like, I've never watched Battlestar Galactica, but if I went now and watched it, I would have a lot more enjoyment than watching it as it's released every week, because I feel like there's too much influence with social media and websites and forums for them to change the story into something the fans want, not necessarily something they were making from the beginning.
I'm sure some of that happens, but like you got to plan these things well in advance. Like they're not reading Reddit and being like, it's not a daytime soap opera. They're not doing it the night before.
Yeah. Quick, build that set.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm
maybe
sure there's
with
some
bigger TV shows and stuff. Yeah, probably not. But like the ones that just have storylines or whatever, sometimes that's easy to just work in. Like, yeah, they knew each other. I don't know. It's probably just a weird thing that I think and no one else does, and I'm wrong. But
yeah.
And if it feels like that, it's a problem. Like you're not connecting with the actual story enough if it feels that way to you. Yeah.
It sounds like a Tim problem is what we're saying.
No, okay. So that's how I feel about The Walking Dead specifically too, because it's like some characters are off limits because they're such fan favorites, even though they were such in the mindset of, I don't care if you're popular, kill, and then, certain characters just got, well, Game of Thrones was like a book too. So that was already done. Like that's what I like is like the books were already finished.
No, the books are not finished. That's George R. Martin still hasn't finished.
That's not what I'm saying. Like, but here's what happens though, right? So he wrote all these books and they were great. And then HBO tried to finish it and sucked at it apparently. But if they would have just let him finish it, even though he was involved. But my point is, if it would have been a book series he was totally done with, the TV show would have been much better in the end instead of tapering off like a, plane to the ground just because they didn't know what to do. They weren't in his mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they were like trying to be cool or do whatever. I don't know.
Just bad writers.
Bad writers. Yeah. And that kind of goes back full circle what I was talking about when you're playing D&D as a kid or whatever, and the DM's not very good at thinking of stuff. And it's like, all of a sudden, this guy teleports in front of you. Like, who's this guy? You just thought of this randomly? Is this planned beforehand?
He's just not that kid, Tim. He's only 12. Give him a break. Yeah, I get you.
We just started playing D&D yesterday, guys.
Yeah. It reminds me of Full Metal Alchemist, the original that they released had the same thing as Game of Thrones, where the manga wasn't finished, but they actually wrote it really well. And the first one was great. Then they did another one that did follow the manga, which was also great. And so you have these two great things because, you know, the original creators were good writers and they were in tune with the subject material enough to like, anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of anime, that's a cool subject to talk about. We don't really talk about animes so much on here. What's some of your favorite animes?
Well, Full Metal
And then, by the way, we're
Alchemist.
going to go back to Phasmaphobia, but
you know, I don't do anime too much, but I love Evangelion because anything with sweet mechs like that is awesome, and paranormal. So I love Full Metal Alchemist.
that guy was weird.
What was?
The story guy, the guy who made Evangelion, he was absolutely nuts. Like,
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure.
show's nuts. The show's nuts.
Yeah. Like, I believe that he was OD'd on some of the episodes as he was writing it and stuff. I mean, it was.
That makes sense.
I don't think he's alive now, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah. I also love like the really beautiful like anime stories that are just kind of like these weird, beautiful stories. Like there's one like wolf, like the kids are wolves. Like this girl has sex with a werewolf and she has wolf cubs and like has to leave society to raise these wolf cubs.
Yay, Japan.
And it's like, it's so weird, but also so weirdly beautiful. Yeah, stuff like that. You know, Studio Ghibli kind of things.
Yes, I like Studio Ghibli. Yeah, and some of these like there are some that I've seen lately, not Studio Ghibli, but just anime that are so like the story is really wrenching. Like I want to eat your pancreas is one that sounds like a zombie film. It's not. It's totally not that. It is very sad, and
That's not anime though. That's real life.
no, it's an anime. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I forgot it because you mentioned that on an episode, many like episodes ago, like
I'm
5
sure
or 6
I did. It
episodes
really
ago.
affected me. This is a good one. Yeah.
You know,
That's
the
crazy.
Japanese and I just feel like that whole, what is it? Eastern culture. They're just really good at telling stories,
Yeah.
you know? And they're so much
Well-
more unique than American ones, I find. And weird, but
Definitely unique and stuff. I kind of feel half and half because the ones that are good are amazing, but then some of the other ones are like they try too hard. You know, like Final Fantasy VII. Look, this is going to sound controversial, but I feel like Final Fantasy VII, its story was almost like they didn't tell you a whole lot, and so there was a lot of like concocting it from different, you know, media and stuff. And eventually now the story's kind of fleshed out, but as you're playing, you're like, I have no clue what's going on. Or not even Final Fantasy 7. I'm sorry. Final Fantasy 13, which I don't know if you two even play Final Fantasies, but the point is Final Fantasy 13, I have no clue what's going on. There's not a way I could explain that to you. I didn't even mean Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 7 is pretty explainable as you're playing the game. Final Fantasy 13, you beat it. You're like, what? Like, what?
Like you don't know who the characters are or what their motivations are, that kind of thing.
No, not necessarily. You just have absolutely no clue what is going on. You know what I mean?
well, if I had to take a guess, I bet the world was ending, right?
Well, kind of, yeah. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Or maybe it was fine.
I don't know. I haven't played in since it came out, but I feel like sometimes their stories are like that. Like some of the animes, it's just, 10 episodes of, I have no clue what is happening. You keep introducing characters and such. And then, yeah, maybe by the end it comes all together. But to me, it's kind of irritating just because I'm like, come on, dude. I want to be in the thick of it. But, I kind of want to know what's happening before I get in the thick of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like anime stories a lot.
Well, it's interesting to compare culturally because here in the West, we have a certain method of telling stories, and you have, the establishment of character, and then you have the conflict, and then you have rising action, and then you have the denouement and all that. It's like this absolute
Formula.
In the East, they don't necessarily follow the same formula.
Yeah, that's true. And it could just be, I'm conditioned.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to compare.
Yeah.
What did you call the descent in the story?
Well, the falling action would be the descent, like the rising action, and then there's the crisis, the moment of crisis, and then there's the falling action, and then the resolution.
Man, I just watched a movie, and this is a totally random thought that is not going to be helpful for this podcast at all, but I just watched this movie where it felt like it was reversed. The fall was at the beginning, and then it was the rise. But I can't remember what it was, so this is just all nonsense. Anyway, I like when...
Was it a time travel
It's fun.
Story?
Maybe, but I do, my least favorite part of American cinema is the predictable fall. Like, you just know it's coming, and it's never really pleasant, and it's just like, meh.
Yeah. It's lazy writing.
Yeah, especially like, this guy is such a BA, and he's going through the whole episode, and you're like, he's going to get beat down. Somebody's going to come beat him down. Let's see it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what this is a weird movie to compare all this to, but you ever seen the movie Hostel? I don't think you like gore stuff, I don't believe, but anyway, Hostel, it was kind of an interesting film because, long story short, he gets captured. People in other countries try to sell Americans for a lot of money so they can torture them and stuff. I mean, they sell other people, but Americans get a high price. If you're wanting to torture somebody and you look at the list of, nationalities, American people are on the top, apparently. Anyway, he starts.
Are they ransoming them? Like they're looking to get money?
No. Basically, they kidnap people. This is dark, but they kidnap people. They take them to some place and they sell them to the highest bidder to do whatever they want with them in a room.
Huh?
It's like, here's an arsenal of weaponry. Have fun. Well, anyway, this guy breaks out. It basically ends up killing everybody. I'm like, that's right. It's like just such a weird. Normally horror movies are like the people trying to run away, but he ends up, it's
a revenge film eventually.
Kind of like revenge. Yeah. It's good.
Okay.
Which makes me remember Mighty Board's game Vengeance.
Yeah. Did you ever play that one?
Oh yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
It's really good.
Okay.
All right. I thought it was good.
Yeah. It's all about dice manipulation and.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And going through and taking out the boss and guys and stuff. It's competitive, though.
Oh. Okay. That's different.
Good game.
Huh.
Well, anyway, so going back to Phasmaphobia real quick. So, I don't know. I guess we're probably done with that.
I think we finished.
I guess that ship sailed. But, all right. So, anyway, George, tell us some of the games that you moved on to from that one.
Okay, yeah.
In this genre of ghostly games.
Right. Well, quickly going back to Phasmaphobia, like you said, the one thing that I've really enjoyed about Phasmaphobia is the pacing. And we've all talked about that. It's like this slow, creepy build-up. Well, the thing is, these other games don't have that to the same degree. And I think that's where they're really missing out. But they're still fun. They're still very interesting games in their own right. And they sort of follow the same formula where you go to a place, you don't know what's going on, there's something horrible happening, and then, you get attacked by a ghost. So, one of them is called Pacify, and this one's been out for a little while. And in this one, you go into a house, there's a little girl who's wandering around, and she's just seems kind of helpless and weird at first, but then something pisses her off and she suddenly goes like all ghost powers on you. And, and you have to, escape from her. If she catches you, I don't know if I should give the whole game away, but you need to pacify her.
Spoiler alert.
You need to pacify her when she's in her evil mode. And so there's a way to do that.
Hang on. Is this a game like you do this and then you're done with the game? Or do you?
No, the game,
replay it like Phasmaphobia.
The game is, you replay it because, my God, is it hard. Like, you have to do things while you're in the house. You have to find keys and open up different parts of the house. But the whole time you've got this ghost girl messing with you, and possibly taking you out. And so you have to pacify her when she gets all mad. And then once you've unlocked certain parts of the house, then you have to do something with items in the house. So you have to run around and get those items and do this thing. But here's the problem for me. Every time you do a thing successfully, and it's like a task that you have to do 10 times, right? 9 or 10 times. Every time you do it, the ghost gets madder and stronger and faster. I'm hopeless. There's no way I'm going to win this game. Like, I can hardly do it when it's the normal level,
But if you do, is it like a 3-hour game then? Like if you actually succeed?
Yeah, who knows? I've never gotten close. But I would say it's probably an hour and something game because she really does get faster. So the game's got to get shorter as you go on.
Oh, I see.
But you can play it for a good long time trying to keep each other alive because there's ways to revive yourselves. When you get one of you gets taken out, you can get revived. So it is a lot of fun. Like it's a co-op game where you really have to work together and there's a ghost chasing around, which is creepy as hell. So it's good. Pacify is good. It's just, I'm despairing of ever winning this game.
That's fair.
The thing with a board game, I can just modify it and say, oh, I'll never win this game. I'm going to give myself 2 extra cards, or whatever I need to do. And this is something where you can't do that. And I feel like that's not fair to the player. Like not everyone is super good at computer games.
That's why they have built-in cheats, cheat codes.
Maybe one of those exists, but why can't the designer just make a mode where you can click on, wimpy level if you have to.
Choose the difficulty to easy?
Yeah.
They don't have a difficulty in it. It's just you just start and play.
I think they have normal and nightmare.
Oh, it just gets harder.
So why? Yeah. Yeah. So
probably just lazy developing. That was actually a big discussion not too long ago in the gaming world. I think about either Neo or Sekira because it's like brutally hard.
Okay.
And there's no way to make it easy. Like some people just want to play it and like breeze through it. And the developer was like, no, that's not how I want my game to be played. And, people were discussing that.
I was going to say, I think we're in the age of Souls-like games where difficulty is a thing.
Like Dark Souls.
It's not necessarily like all about the experience now. I mean, or story or whatever, but we have gotten to the thing where somebody's, designed a game and they want it to be hard. It's a challenge on purpose. And they want you to feel like, oh, you beat that game and talk about your friends and be like, yeah, I beat that game. Wow. Because if you say you beat the game, did you beat it on easy or did you beat it on nightmare? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So the game's hard. It's almost like a status symbol to play through it and beat it. And if the game's really good, then it's an accomplishment. Like the Souls games is like that, where you play through and you fight the bosses and you get killed 50 times. You're like throwing the controller, going to Walmart, buying a new one. And then, you finally beat that boss and you're like, yes, conquered. I feel accomplished.
Right.
And then the next thing kills you in one hit. Like there's cheesy ways for difficulty. I don't like difficulty, like hard games where you get hit one time and you die. That's not really cool. I like games where, like the Souls games, you have to like really know the pattern of the bad guys. Although I will say they have really cheesy things. You walk around to the wrong part of the stage that you're not supposed to be in and it hits you one time and just annihilates you. Like, okay, you know what? So that guy's technically level 50 and I'm level 20. I got to come back here later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can get that.
Or you walk across the bridge and it just collapses. Okay, whatever. Give me some sort of like sign that things are going to happen. And if I miss it, I miss it. But
the sign was the bridge collapsing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I want to hear crackle, crackle.
Yeah, I feel ya. I personally just want games to have an easy mode or a story mode.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Especially when you have kids and you want to like play some of these games with them, and it's like, it's just it's just too hard.
Right? Yeah.
But
I was really excited that Mario Odyssey had an assist mode for kids, where basically if you fall off and just put you in a bubble, put you back.
That was amazing.
Yes,
that is probably one of the greatest kids games to ever exist. Like parent-kid game.
My son's 5; he's beat it.
Yeah.
Well,
really
I think
cool.
that's part of the issue is that some of these kids that grew up on video games more than we did, I mean, we grew up in the arcade or whatever, maybe some of us at my age, but, that now it's like they grew up with iPads or whatever and they're 12 years old and they're 20 times as good as I would ever be.
Yeah, they're on YouTube playing Dark Souls on a dance pad.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Oh, God. Well, see, it's like you're making games for them, I guess, when you make it that hard, but that leaves me out,
That's a good segue for Destiny because they often cater to, I think, too niche of a market which is the hardcore players, who are the players that stick around. Whereas like people like you and I are more casual, we are more likely to leave. So why cater to the person that's not staying? But I don't know. I feel like it's a tough balance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I do prefer, like Genshin Impact to me gets the balance right where like most, like you can dig in if you really want, but most of the time there's just, nice little surface level of casual experience that anyone can do. And, like Destiny, sometimes they make their events that are like the community can't even do it, right? Like the community has to together get 5 million kills and like nobody does it. So Destiny's like, okay, only 1 million kills. And they just always turn things all the way to the right to try and keep people playing.
Yeah.
Which is...
Don't appreciate that.
I have heard some good things about that new season, though, that just launched, which is sad because I bought the expansion and it came with a free season like a month ago, and I didn't really play it.
People are liking it. The new Secret Quest is really cool, but...
Is that the one that's kind of like the Whisper of the Worm jumping puzzle type thing? No, number one, we're going to take a side quest here. By far, my favorite thing in games is jumping puzzles.
Yeah.
You're serious?
George probably is going to disagree. Yeah, it is. Guild Wars 2 was fantastic for this. Jumping puzzle. Like, I don't like games that force you into it. Like, I don't like the whole game to be a jumping puzzle. What I mean is, you're playing. What's that over there? Jumping puzzle. All right, cool. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
If you want to pass it up, that's cool. I like it to be side content, but have a lot of it and have varying amount of difficulties of it. So, Guild Wars 2 is fantastic.
So you're talking about the thing where you have to go and like, if you don't push jump at exactly this right spot, you're not going to make it across and you fall and you die. You like that?
I mean, that's an easy way to say it. I feel like that was loaded. Well, for instance, like in Destiny 2, there's the Whisper of the Worm quest. I haven't actually played the second one, which I think Stephen did. What was it called?
It was 0 Hour.
0 Hour, yeah. There's a if you don't look it up online and you play it by yourself, it's a really cool experience because you're looking around, you're like, what do we do? And it's like a puzzle. That's why it's called a jumping puzzle. Because not like this thing's flying by real fast and you have to time it correctly and all that crap. It's just like, where do you jump? Like, so you're trying to figure it out. You jump up here and maybe you jump over here where you're like, oh, well, that's a dead end. Go back. Did I miss something? Like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's almost like a maze in a way, but it's in a form of a jumping.
I see.
Platforming section.
Gotcha.
Now, the 0 Hour one was definitely like, if you don't jump perfectly, you are not getting past this part. And it was really tough.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's much tougher than the Whisper of the Worm thing, I believe.
It is, yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, I like those quests. They're cool. But they can be pretty tough.
Yeah.
They can be pretty tough. But, with Destiny, yes, the new season's cool, but it's, again, same monsters, same environments. A seasonal activity that's going to be gone, and if you miss it, you miss it, and it's all FOMO, and it's just like, after the whole stunt.
That I don't like that so much in games where, like, I feel like that with mobile games too. The games are like, log in every day. Yeah, I was playing Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and if anybody's listening to the show from the beginning, like 30 or 40 episodes, we talked about Brave Exvius all the time, and we had multiple segments where, like, every other episode we were talking about Brave Exvius. But it is a game that if you didn't keep up with, or if you didn't play for a month, you missed so much. And it's really cool in the moment, but it is basically regret afterwards if you didn't, So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. When you're in the moment, you're doing it, it's really fun. But if you're not experiencing it, you got into the game late, like you never knew about it. Like if you got into Destiny 2 and people are like, check out my cool weapon. You're like, how do I get that? You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, in Destiny 2, I think they recycle stuff every once in a while anyway, but certain skins and stuff you might not see enough for another year or two. And it's like, I don't know, that's disappointing, but it is a cool way to reward. It's how I feel about stretch goals and Kickstarters, honestly.
The sad part is it works, right? Like people do.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's a predatory practice. Like it does prey on the mind psychologically. That's why it works. Same with stretch goals. But ultimately, in my opinion, like it's not really so much the stretch goals, it's the exclusives.
Yes.
Yeah.
They end up making a worse product because it's only a certain portion of people are going to have it, like Destiny 2. I've experienced far more than anyone that starts playing today can ever experience with Destiny because the stuff is gone. And, like they deleted half the game. You're never going to get that story back. You're going to have to read about it online. And there's a cool aspect of like being there, but, ultimately I think it's just a worse product and I don't like it.
I'm with you.
That's fair. And even if they do bring it back, I believe they're going to like redo it. So it's never going to be the same. It's almost like when you talk to a World of Warcraft player, like I played vanilla WoW. You're like, you already know that type of person. Okay. You don't care about any of the new stuff because there was such a fond memory of that era. You can't get back. I mean, obviously they came out with a classic server and you can kind of do it, but the problem with that is people are better gamers now. So that content's kind of trivialized, I guess. Because you're not living it in 2004, 2005. I don't know. It's interesting how video games, especially MMOs, have changed that. It's, even to the day, similarity here, but you want to go play this game and you're like, oh, that game came and died. I'll never be able to play that game now. Like I've experienced that quite a bit, looking up MMOs that are dead. Man, I wish I would have played that game or this game or
That's
whatever.
That's similar to a TCG though. Yeah,
but at least with TCGs, if they're dead, you can go buy the cards. You just don't get to play in sanctioned tournaments and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like Clout Fantasy, which I've talked about quite a bit on the show over time. That's a game that killed itself basically because of how expensive it was. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but Stephen, but it's basically a poker chip Magic game. You build a stack of chips, you play it on a card table type of thing, and you take turns tossing the chips on the board and interacting with each other like Magic the Gathering. I throw my guy out. It's within so many inches of you, it kills you, because, my attack power is more than your defense. Stuff like that. Fantastic game, but a booster pack was $3 back in like 2006 and it came with 2 random chips and that was it. So it's $1.50 a chip, but each pack was randomly inserted. So you may not even get like a common and a rare. You could get a common and an uncommon for 2 factions you don't care about. So I feel like the game priced itself in a stupid way and it killed itself. Luckily for me, I don't really care because I didn't know about it when it was out. So I bought all these booster boxes and we played it afterwards. It's fantastic. It's a great game, but I could acquire it. Unlike an MMO where, you want to go play like Star Wars Galaxies, which not that I would recommend it, but it's the first one that came into my head. Star Wars Galaxies was made by Sony Online Entertainment, which is now like, I don't know,
Daybreak.
Whoever. Huh?
Daybreak.
Yeah, Daybreak, yeah. And so you can't play Star Wars Galaxies because the servers are dead, everything's gone. And I don't think anybody's
like, because people got the source code and restarted their own servers.
Did they really?
Just like you got your little pogs back.
Pogs.
I've heard of that happening. Like City of Heroes is one that people do that.
City of Heroes? I hope someone
City
does
of Heroes
a Wildstar,
actually came back though. Oh man, Wildstar was so good.
It was good.
Man, I played a lot of Wildstar. Funny story about that real quick. I can't remember 100%, but I was thinking about my brother was killed on his motorcycle and I played it with him primarily, right? That and Guild Wars 2. And ever since he, was killed or whatever, I those 2 games I never wanted to revisit because I was like, man, that's all I played it with was him. Guild Wars 2, I played by myself a whole lot, but Wildstar, I basically didn't log in without him. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a chance. I download it, install it. No joke. While I'm installing it, I got the email that the servers were going to be shut down like on my birthday, like permanently. I'm like,
not meant to be. No.
Uninstall. Screw it. Yeah. Not worth jumping in. So I reinstalled Guild Wars 2 out of, honoring my brother, but yeah, Wildstar's good.
Guild Wars 2 is an amazing example of like, you can always, they originally had those living seasons living stories where it would come and go, but then they realized like that's really dumb because in a narrative driven game like Destiny or any of these other games, you want people to be able to experience the narrative. Whereas if it just comes and goes, anyone that's not at the starting point is going to be completely lost, which people are with Destiny. But Guild Wars 2 later retroactively went back and was like, no, now you can play everything.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And the other thing is like, they never really had any FOMO stuff. Like if your character is just as powerful today as he was back in the day, which I think is great. Whereas in Destiny, your character is constantly thrown back to the wolves every season, basically.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings with the Guild Wars 2 thing because it is fun to go fight something and get a really cool skin. But being an old school RPG guy like EverQuest, I love the idea of going and killing a specific boss to get a specific weapon. So like, I like that.
Do that still.
Well, no, because most of the weapons and stuff in Guild Wars 2, it's just like it'll drop like like an ascended item or whatever.
Oh,
but you can get that from anyone. It's really you're hunting skins.
Yeah.
Which it's cool. I wouldn't change it for Guild Wars 2 because I like the way that it operates and does things. But I do like, a random spawn of this one guy came up in this one part of the map. And once you kill him, you have a random chance of getting this item. But it's not a necessity. Like it's not like an item you have to be competitive or have to, have in-game equipment. It's just something you can have and show off.
Fun fact, my brother was traveling in EverQuest and he came across this rare turtle and he managed to kill it because he was pretty high level. And it dropped, it had this random chance of dropping, the super rare thing. He got it and he sold it on eBay for like $400 back in the day. And he like paid for a trip to Vegas to go hang out with his friends in EverQuest, like his guildmates. Which, those things they're really cool. And I loved EverQuest for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I did you play EverQuest?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but in Valios there was an item that you camp what was his name? It was an eagle called Storm Talon. I think it was Storm Talon. Anyway, he would spawn like within an hour every 7 days.
Yeah.
And so people would camp this spot for an entire week. And anyway, it took me 3 months and I finally killed this dude. Like I was camping this thing a lot. I'd log in and make sure nobody was there, but it's like standing in the Black Friday line at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Like I logged in like 6 hours ahead of time and like no one was there. So I like just set my guy down and was like running back and forth all day long. And he eventually spawned. Good news is though, he always dropped this item and it was for a quest called the Eye Patch of Plunder. And it basically was a right click item to give you a 10% haste. And it was it was a type of haste that stacked with like every haste in the game.
Yeah.
Oh man, I felt like a BA, even though I played a ranger and they basically sucked. I mean, they got better, but I was playing a subclass.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's astonishing to me that people pay real money for fake electronic things. Like, I mean, it is, but I don't know.
Have you ever bought a video game, my friend?
Well, he's talking about like paying.
Yes,
like,
I know what he's
Diablo 3. Diablo 3, when it first started, it had a real money auction house, right? And I went on there because I played the game. I took off of work and played it for like a whole week. Well, off of work when it first launched. And I got real high level, like the max level, and was like farming all this stuff. And I was just throwing items on there because unlike like eBay, where you have to choose which items to list, because obviously it costs money or whatever and time to put it up there and everything. This one, you can literally just throw anything you want on here and people would buy it for no reason. I was throwing up like level 30 items and I think your level 50 or 60 was the highest, but it was a really good level 30 item. And I'm like $1, 50 cents, stuff like that.
Yeah, in real money.
I made $150. And so, which allowed me to like buy StarCraft 2 or whatever. And the expansion, like,
yeah,
cause like you could cash out, but you would suffer a penalty. like a 25% penalty from like Blizzard for getting it paid in money. But if you just kept it in store credit, you had the full value. So like I bought all the WoW expansions I was missing, and
I'm not part of this whole scene. Like I don't play these kind of games and get these rares or whatever the heck, you know. I have no idea. But here's the thing. Why don't they make it to where, if they're just going to do it for money anyway, right? Just do it where you go and you find this rare turtle and you kill it and it drops a crypto kitty, you know, or something like one of these like Bitcoin things, you know, that like it's already
a Dogecoin.
Yeah. You kill a turtle, you get a Dogecoin. Why not?
But it's not the game assigning value to it. It's the players.
It is the players, right?
But yeah, no, I mean, it's weird, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Like Stones of Jordan. I don't know if anybody caught that one or not, but
no.
Diablo 2, that was like Diablo 2's currency at that point was like Stones of Jordan. You just trade them.
Cool.
I don't even think they were good. I don't even remember now, but that was like the currency.
The exchange rate on Stones of Jordan nowadays.
Yeah, right. We got a few minutes left. Let's talk since you are not as excited about Destiny 2, let's talk about something exciting coming out. It's Outriders.
Outriders.
Yeah, what is this?
Yep. A game I had no clue about, and Stephen was posting stuff. I'm like, what is this Destiny?
Yeah. To me, it's like the, you know, with the recent failures of like Godfall and Anthem and kind of Destiny, you know, people petering out on that too. Outriders is hopefully the shining gem that breaks the trend of new looters being absolute failures. But it's essentially like, no, we're not doing a live service game. It's going to be a full game, full end game, day one. We're not cutting up and piecing it out over the months. There are no live events. So more like Borderlands, where, although Borderlands does do live events, but, you know, there's going to be
phenomenal game, by the way.
You know, the old school, like, here's a DLC. You can buy it whenever and play it. And like nothing ever gets deleted. And like, you know, one great thing is that there's a demo, and you know, no one ever really does demos anymore. It's a full demo. You can play any of the 4 classes. You get 6 character slots, so you can play all of them without having to worry about it. You'll have, it's not a limited time demo. You know, you can play it forever. At any point, people can play it and be like, I like this game, and buy it, which just used to be so normal back in the 90s. But it's so not normal now because most people don't actually finish their games. You know, like imagine there was a Cyberpunk demo before the launch. Every pre-order would have been canceled, right? And so anyway, to me, it just shows that they have so much confidence in their product that like, yes, you play this demo. If this is the kind of game you like, you will definitely be interested in it and buying the full thing. The other nice thing about the demo is when you do buy the game, all your progress carries over. Right? Any currency that you farmed, anything like that gets to carry over.
Oh, that's good.
It's a 3-player co-op, drop in, drop out. You've got the whole looter shooter thing. I'm not going to go into every detail about how the gear system works, but it is fantastic that you can basically upgrade any gun from, you know, start to end game. And the nice thing is maybe, you know, you get a drop of a sniper rifle and you don't care about sniper rifles, but that sniper rifle has a perk that you like. You can actually rip that perk off of the sniper rifle and it adds it to a library of perks that you've collected. So now, not only are you chasing gear, you're chasing perks from gear to assign to whatever you happen to want. To your armor, your guns. There's no transmog system, which is sad to me, but you know, it looks cool. It's got this nice kind of, it's more like Destiny mixed with heavy metal, where there's a lot more skulls and
metal
and grim kind of stuff. No, I prefer Destiny's look over the more grim stuff, but it looks cool. You know, the 4 classes, the nice thing is you can respec your skills at any time. There's a skill tree with 3 paths that you can mix and match. And the classes are cool. You know, there's like the time manipulation person, there's the fire mage, there's the earth mage, and then there's like the gadget guy who makes turrets and stuff.
So you said the game is for 3 players, but there's 4 classes.
Yeah. Which is interesting,
So
but
that means you
they said
always have one that's not with you.
Yeah.
yeah. And they said that originally tested it with 4 and it was just more fun with 3. So
See, that's my kind of game, George.
It's that fourth guy. That fourth guy was a jerk.
yeah. So there's a lot to love with Outriders. And it's like Destiny without all the live service crap. And like, yeah, day one, one other cool thing is when you reach the end game, when you finish the campaign, instead of games like Destiny where the content from the campaign is then used for strikes or other missions, you redo that content. When you reach end game in Outriders, it unlocks all this new stuff. It unlocks 15 new areas, actually. Like they're called expeditions. And so, when you reach the end game, you get kind of a new game unlocks, which is great. Division 2 kind of did that with the black, whatever they're called. I don't know if you play that game, but when you reach end game, a new faction unlocked, which was a lot harder and had all this cool new stuff, which was pretty neat. So anyway, I like that. When you reach end game in Destiny, it's like, okay, now rerun all the same content forever and ever.
Right. Like the only thing you can look forward to in Destiny at the end that's new is like trying to go through all the raids, but it takes so much. If you're a casual player, it's just not going to happen.
Which is sad because the raids are amazing, but
yes,
they're so inaccessible. Anyway, so Outriders is cool.
Rough.
And I hope you play it, George.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Well, here's what I'll say. I thought, because I haven't looked, I don't do a whole lot of research on video games that are coming out. I just like get excited about it and buy them. And
yes,
I thought that it was going to be more of in line with against Destiny, but you're right. It sounds like from what you're saying, it's more competitive towards Borderlands. Not that they're probably trying to compete because, H video games, you can just buy both, but that's awesome. I like that idea because you're right. You can play it. You can beat it. You can wait for DLC. You can do a lot of stuff. You're never going to miss out. Mm-hmm. You don't always have, if you don't play it for 6 months because of a life, tragedy or something,
right?
You don't feel like you miss anything. I mean, you might miss playing the game, but you're going to come back to where you left off. Yeah. You're not going to come back to, a brand new game where your character is like already maxed out for some odd reason.
Yeah.
And
which is
that
really,
happened in Destiny.
Like
so
the
much.
normal way the games work. It's just not the way looters normally work. Most looters are, MMO lights and stuff like that. So that's why it feels newer and different. Well, I'm sure like anyone who's used to single player games is like, yeah, that's just how they work, man.
I was like, gosh, this is a video game. This is a first person shooter. I'm a huge Borderlands fan. I mean, Borderlands is in my top 10 series, I guess, of video games. So this makes me very much more excited that it's like this. And you're right. It does have that Destiny aspect, but way more metal, almost like a Rage kind of overtone to Destiny.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, there are definitely some characters that look identical to Destiny.
Oh, dude. Some of those screenshots, I was like, is it Destiny? What?
Yeah. So I'm excited. The demo comes out next Thursday. And so you'll have a month to play before it launches on April 1st, which is not a joke.
Well, I'm interested.
Cool.
Like, if you were going to play it and we play it 3-player,
I'd be
in. Yeah. Because here's the thing.
Well, if anything, we'll at least play the demo.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
we should do that.
Regardless.
We should do that. Because, I usually come late to the party on these things, and I start playing, and it's like, oh, you're level 20, and you've got all this stuff, and now I don't know what I'm doing.
That's fair.
But if I get in at the same time, that'll be cool. Yeah.
That's always one challenge with playing with friends. Is like for games that are narrative focused. Is like you really can't play it without them, And I still think that's the case here to some degree. Whereas the great thing about Phasmaphobia is like, literally just hop in and play whatever. Like no one's missing a beat without each other. Like if George is level 700, which I'm sure he is, and I'm level 25, it doesn't make a huge difference.
Exactly.
Levels almost don't even make any difference to that game at all. It's just, you've collected so much money to buy new gear, but the gear is shared among everyone in the party. They just bring more of it.
Yeah, and you can afford to lose it. So when you die, you just die and buy more stuff.
Yeah, it's like you're low level. Don't buy anything. I'll buy it all.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to be generous like that.
So next Thursday, we're all going to play, right?
That's right.
Let's do it.
I'm in. Hopefully you can pre-download it so it's already ready by the time
it unlocks
you get to your
it. You know,
computer.
another great thing is their communication. Like, they've been so transparent about how their systems work. And I don't know if you're familiar with Anthem. And obviously I'm a fanboy, so I'm talking a lot about this, but Anthem, you know,
I was very excited by Anthem.
And it's still such a cool idea. But Anthem was so vague on basically anything. You know, you'd ask them how long the game was. They're like, oh, it depends how you play. It's like, sure, but how long is the game? Whereas like Outriders and any other games, like, well, it's 20 to 40 hours. And then there's another 20 hours of side quests. And they do, like, every month they've had these deep dives into like a class, and the class builds, and they can build it, and then like aspects of lore. They show those kinds of things. And like, even with the demo, they're like, hey, here's all the time zones that it launches in. Here's how you can get into it. Here's, you know, everything you need to do to prepare. And they did a like huge long post. And like, anytime someone's like, man, why isn't there in-game chat? Like, their community manager goes on Reddit and they wrote like this huge long post about like their process of trying to integrate chat on PC and like the regulations behind that sort of thing, and having to monitor the toxicity, and like why they ultimately decided not to do it. And I was like, man, I respect that. Whereas other games just don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just announce that it's either there or it's not.
Yeah. So same with
it might be on the making of DVD later.
Yeah. You know, like same with Avengers, you know, they're so vague, and then like, yeah, that is just, I just don't like when people compare like Outriders to these other ones, because while
you're talking about the video game Avengers, right? That kind of crashed and burned too, didn't it?
It did. Super hard, super sad. There's a cool game there, but
like, is it still there, or is it pretty much?
No, it's there. They just released a content update today that added Hawkeye, but you know, for the past, what has it been, like 6 months or something? You've been fighting AIM robots, and this new update is just again AIM robots, and it's probably going to die. Maybe not, but probably.
Hawkeye is my favorite. I have a comic where Hawkeye uses sign language.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that why he's your favorite?
I know nothing about superheroes.
You like Rangers and stuff, right?
I do. Yeah, I like Rangers and Archers and stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
He's pretty cool.
That's why he's your favorite. We'll go with that. All right, well, Stephen, I think we're going to wrap this one up. But before we go, do you want to put out any kind of plugs for social media if you want to be reached, or you could say no?
Yeah. So my OnlyFans website link is... I need to make money too. I don't need to promote myself. I'm good. All
right, well, that's cool. If anything, at least go check out Grimslingers and all the stuff he's done. And hit up Board Game Geek and just... do artist search for Stephen Gibson.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
You can just Google me, you know, and all the links pop up. So
there we go. All right. Well, anything else? George, you want to finish with anything? You got anything else you want to say, or are we done?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Stephen?
Thank you for having me on the podcast. It was a blast.
Yeah, I was getting ready to tell you that too. It was
our
cool.
pleasure.
We don't really have a lot of guests on here because at first I didn't put the effort into setting up to have guests, but since COVID, that's all we do because, you know, George is remote.
Yes.
So it's cool to bring people on.
So it's just normally you and George talking, right?
Well, it was me and Matt, and then we brought Eric on as a guest for a little bit, and then he joined, and then George joined us. And so it was all four of us coming to my house every time. And then Matt went on hiatus because he bought a new house and wasn't really joining us for games. So he didn't really have a lot to speak in the episode, and he felt weird just sitting there the whole time. And then it was just the three of us, me, Eric, and George. And then Eric, since the pandemic, he's gotten super busy in the real estate stuff. I mean, he was already a real estate guy. And he is like working 10 times more than he's ever had. So he had to like cut stuff out. And so now he's on hiatus. I don't know if he's coming back ever or not, but I mean, he might join us once in a while. But so for right now, it's me and George, unless Matt starts playing more games and can jump on. But he plans on, Matt's kind of a what's it called? Like a nomad, I guess. I don't know. He shows up when it's like when we have topics that he'll like. This would have probably been a good episode for him to be on because he's so into video games. Yeah. That's where if we have episodes where we talk about that a lot, he jumps on.
So George is into video games, all right? Aren't you, George?
I like certain video games.
Or you let him more hands off on it.
I enjoy video games, but honestly, lately they're too difficult for me, and then I just get frustrated. So if I am playing a video game that's co-op with people that can help me through it, that's a much better experience for me.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And if I have a slower paced video game, like my favorite video game of all time is SWAT 4. Because
really, that's interesting. I love SWAT 4.
Yeah, like you have to think.
That's when we get to zip tie people, right?
Yes. But it's not like you just run in and gun everybody. I mean, there's a lot of that. But like
you like the Tom Clancy games,
you have to have
right?
a plan.
Like Rainbow Six.
Oh, the Vegas
strategy,
one.
Okay.
I like the strategy and the action mixed. Yeah.
Man, I remember SWAT 4 from like when I was a teenager. It had like the most amazing graphics when it came out.
Yeah, and now it's really
now it doesn't.
Yeah, now it's
but it's the pacing. Again, it's the pacing.
Dated.
Like there are so many games that are shooters that are just like frenetic nonsense. Just shoot the whole time.
Unreal Tournament. So good.
It's true. It's why I like, actually, strangely enough, Fortnite versus, say, Apex Legends or Warzone, because Fortnite is actually very slow for most of it.
Okay.
Which is why it's great for kids, right? Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. It's a great thing about Tom Clancy games is you get to kind of think.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk more after the show, but for now, I think we're going to wrap it up. Again, thank you for coming on at kind of a weird short notice, I guess. I was like, hey, you want to jump on? Sweet.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah, great times. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was talking about his good communication with Outriders because I was like, Stephen, one word. Okay. He was like, oh, I didn't quite get what you meant, but fun stuff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Anyway, we want to thank you again for tuning in to episode 112 of the MeepleCore podcast. This episode was recorded on February 18th, 2021. Please send questions and comments to meeplecore@gmail.com. Follow MeepleCore on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check out video versions of the show on youtube.com/MeepleCore. And until next time, this is Tim Jennette, the Metal Meeple.
George Breden.
And thank you for joining us, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Keep on rocking and rolling dice.